In this lesson, we're going to discuss summarizing. Although we're focusing on summarizing in written form, many of these tips are useful for summarizing in spoken form as well. Look at the passage "Be Specific" on page 309 and 311 of the textbook Models for Writers for any examples used throughout this lesson. If you do not have the book yet, refer to the link for the article, but keep in mind you will need the book to complete future assignments. Before you start, you should understand the purpose of your summary. So there are a few reasons why people would summarize information. If you're writing a summary for your own benefit, for your own notes to review later, you want to include as much detail as possible so that you can get the most out of your notes later on. So in this case, this first type of summary, you want to write down any information that you think is valuable or important. If you're writing a summary that you want to include as part of your own essay, you just need to focus the summary on information that deals specifically with your own thesis. There's no need to summarize an entire article or an entire book. You just pull out the information you need that is relevant for your essay. However, if the summary is informational, meaning you want to provide the main points of an article to inform others what the article is saying, then you focus on identifying the thesis and main support for the thesis. In this lesson, we are going to focus on an informational summary, identifying the thesis and main support for that thesis. When you begin an informational summary, it is important to introduce the basic bibliographic information. Bibliographic information refers to the information regarding the author, the title of the chapter, the title of the article, the date published, and so on. You divide this information into two parts. In the introduction of the actual summary, you mention the full title of the article and the author's full name. This should be ideally in the very first sentence. You do not need to mention the date of the publication or journal, book, etc. you found the article in. This information will need to be included where you put your references at the end of your writing, in a reference or works cited page. Once you have introduced the bibliographic information, turn your attention to providing the relevant supporting details. Before you write the summary, make sure you review your notes. Rewrite any supporting details with good sentence structure that you would actually want to use in the paragraphs of the summary. Make sure you mention all main points and any supporting details that are essential in understanding those points. Only write information that is absolutely crucial in developing an understanding of the article's contents. This means you definitely want to include the thesis of the article in your own words. You definitely want to include any supporting topic ideas. However, you don't have to list every example that supports those topics. You only include an example if it clarifies another idea you have put in the summary. Once you've provided the relevant details, you can quickly write a conclusion. In your summary's conclusion, you restate the conclusion drawn by the author of the original article. Keep in mind, these conclusions can sometimes include results and/or analysis of research or ideas, and calls to action. A call to action is an encouragement to the audience to get involved if they agree with the original writer. Remember to use author tags as you are writing the summary. Continually restate the fact that the information you write comes from another source. You want to remind the audience that these ideas come from somewhere else. For example, include phrases like Goldberg believes such and such, Goldberg finds that, and Goldberg expresses disbelief about, to introduce ideas. Since a summary shows your understanding of the original article, and it is usually much shorter than the original article, it should be written in your own words. If possible, do not use any direct quotations in your summary. You should only use a short quotation if it expresses an idea more powerfully than you can, but most ideas should be paraphrased in your own words. When you finish writing your summary, you should check it against the original article for accuracy. The text or length of your summary should be about 1/4 to 1/3 the length of the original article. Refer to any specific parameters of assignments for other guidelines. The summary must include all of the major ideas included in the article without repeating exact phrases. The summary should accurately portray the thoughts and assertions portrayed in the original article. And it should not include your own analysis or opinion of the original article. If you are using the summary as part of an essay, you can put your analysis and opinion in another part of the essay. So let's look at a sample summary of the passage Be Specific by Natalie Goldberg. You can see from the length of the summary it is significantly shorter than her original passage. We start out the summary by introducing the author and the name of her article. According to Natalie Goldberg, in her essay, Be Specific, you will note that we don't have publication date or other information here. Again, that is included in the Works Cited section. The thesis of Goldberg's passage is in the first sentence. People should give each thing its specific name. As we skim through the rest of the summary, we'll see that there are 3 supporting reasons Goldberg gives for why people should give each thing its specific name. First, she mentions the importance of knowing names of plants in order to be more connected to what is around us. Next, when she's talking about William Carlos Williams, he says knowing the names of things lets a person be more aware and appreciative and gain knowledge. Finally, Goldberg gives another reason. A person should know the names of other people in classes and groups, so one can be closer to others and their work. You will note in this summary, only the 3 supporting ideas are given. Specific examples such as actual names of plants, actual names of people, these are not given because it is enough to have the broad ideas to understand what Goldberg was trying to say. The conclusion of the summary is in the last sentence, and in this sentence, the thesis from Goldberg is restated. People need to, quote, be specific when they are describing something. Throughout the summary, there are multiple author tags to indicate these ideas did not come from the writer of the summary, but rather Natalie Goldberg, the author of the original article. Finally, the summary writer only quoted one small phrase, the phrase be specific, which is quoted and cited in the last sentence of the summary. Everything else is paraphrased in the summary writer's own words. Take a minute to compare this summary with the original article. Is there any essential information in the original article that the summary writer did not include? Is there any information in the summary that you think is not necessary for understanding the main points of the original article? Keep in mind this summary format and style when you are composing your own summaries, whether in written or verbal form.